Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're covering the March patch and there's quite a lot going on this season. As always, I won't go through every single line of the patch notes, but I'll highlight the important stuff, give you some thoughts, and flag the things that actually matter. A quick thank you to my Patreons and YouTube members, your support genuinely helps keep things going. For the rest of you, here is a small code as thank you. Let's get into it. Let's start with a broad look at what this season contains. The big highlight of this patch is the Onslaught Rework. I'll talk more about it in a moment, but the gameplay is more dynamic and the rewards are hugely improved. You can also deploy machines of war in Onslaught now, and accordingly earn shards for them too. This isn't the economy panacea that we need, but it certainly goes a long way in addressing the shard and orb problems that players have. Probably the next most notable mention is the ceiling is rising, and we can now take our characters to Adamantine 2, and the boss cycles are also rising to Mythic 2. The next biggest talking point is the Actus mini Mythic event. I should have a whole video going over that, but these events have historically been big boosts to account progression. The new character that we are getting this patch is Ammuk, Memnir strategist for the Leagues of Votann faction, who is looking like a buffer for the raid mech team. There is a new campaign event that starts on March 19th. World Eaters fight against the Adepta Sororitas, and you can bring Black Legion as allies. The Battlepass character this season will be for Exeter Row, and the LRE will be the final run of Dante. Beyond that, we have the usual slew of home screen events, quests, blessed requisitions, tournament arena, and some shop changes. Overall, this is one of the busier seasonal patches we've had in a while. In terms of notable absences, there are no character reworks, survival, relics, or machines of war introduced. The Onslaught changes are the biggest, and I'll try not to get too bogged down in them. I've got to thank Tacticus ambassador and friend Jen for her help in compiling the nuances and data here. Your current progress in each of the Imperial, Xenos, and Chaos Onslaught tracks is ported over to the new design. As you can see here, my Imperial track is more advanced than my Xenos, which is more advanced than my Chaos track. Within each track you have different sectors. Each advancing sector is harder, and you can see some upgrade tiers attached to them: stone, silver, gold, and so on. Along with the increased difficulty, the rewards also get better in the higher sectors. So for example, if I was to honor one of my deployed legendary characters in section 1, then I'm likely to only get 3 or 4 character shards. However, honoring that same legendary character in sector 6 gets me 18 to 22 shards. For most advanced players, this reflects about a tripling in terms of shard income, but I'll discuss the economy later. As you can see from my Xenos track, the current tier that I'm working on has subdivisions for progress. For my Sector 6, this is broken down to Diamond 1, 2, and 3. Completing all of the subdivisions collapses the sector, and then you just have the final level for replayability purposes. And you can see the difference here when we go back and compare it to the Imperial section, where my Diamond 6 sector is merged on completion. The gameplay is more challenging and dynamic too. Whereas previously you could play the game mode pretty mindlessly with overleveled characters and no risk of dying or failing, the enemies are reasonably challenging now. It feels a lot more like a wave in LRE, with elite, Tyrannid, and Genestealer enemies, and on occasion even characters. Having played through some of the fights, they feel challenging but still doable, and I haven't had my squads wiped like high levels of LRE. As you can see on screen, you can also deploy machines of war in battle now, and honor them at the end of the fight for shards, badges, and orbs. What about the rewards? Well, shout out again to Jen for compiling this. Honoring your heroes gives the following amount of shards. The rarity of the honored hero gets capped, and the list on screen shows where the cap applies. So a common character always gets 3 to 4 shards when honored. Uncommon always stays 4 to 5 shards after Sector 2, and so on. Mythic shards are a different kettle of fish. You can see the drop rates here. Essentially, honoring a mythic character at higher rarities now gives you a chance to get more than 1 mythic shard per onslaught. The orb payouts have also improved. There are a lot of numbers here, but hopefully the takeaway is clear in that the economy is better. You are now basically guaranteed an orb every time you do an onslaught, and you hit 100% chance for legendary and epic orbs from Sector 4 onwards, which is pretty great and really helps new players catch up. The badges breakdown is here. You get badges for beating waves like you did before, And if, for example, you are particularly interested in getting rare or epic badges, then you can play the lower sectors, which accordingly award more lower type badges. Honoring a character also provides badges with improved drop rates when compared to the previous Onslaught. In addition to the guaranteed drop rates at higher sectors, you can also get multiples of badges. For space reasons, I've just shown the higher sectors here. I should also add that the chest rewards are also now much more frequent. It's difficult to pinpoint this exactly, but you open a chest roughly 1 every 4 tokens, and these chests give you even more badges. Overall, it is a really nice rework, and I think helps to address some of the major economy bottlenecks. There is one sort of addendum that I'm adding in after I've done the initial script and analysis. The new Onslaught system does feature fewer enemies than before, and I suppose that does potentially mean slower progress in home screen events which relied on number of enemies killed. Hopefully, Snowprint keep this in mind for balancing of future HSEs. It has been about half a year since we got Mythic and Adamantine 1, and this update brings the next progression point in Adamantine 2. It appears like the costs of upgrading abilities continues to increase in a linear fashion for 56 to 60, with costs going up by 2,500 gold per ability level and 5,000 experience per level. I don't really have a huge amount else to say here. This was kind of the timescale I had in my head for the progression increase. The Onslaught rework, I suppose, is a big economy tie-in to aid progression along with this ceiling rise. This patch brings another mini Mythic event for Actus and the Admechs. It starts on March 17th and runs for 5 days. I do have a dedicated showcase that will come out in the next day or two, but here are the main takeaways. It's the third Mythic shop style event where you earn currency and spend it on rewards that you want. The focus this time is on Admech units, Imperial resources, and Admech upgrades. The amount of currency we get is lower and the costs of everything are higher, and I'll break that down in my dedicated video. The only new character this patch is Ammuk, the Leagues of Votann Memnir strategist. He unlocks via a 2-week hero release event on March 22nd. If you're here for the 15-second summary, Ammuk is a mechanical summoner and buffer. He adds an Ironkin Steeljack as a mechanical summon through his active ability. His passive gives League of Votann and mechanical units a conditional buff to their damage plus an additional hit to units with the Votann trait. He is likely to be a raid-focused character where his buff works well in a mechanical team, but also likely to be a key buffer for how the Votann work alongside one another. I should have a dedicated character showcase out for your perusal on my channel now. There is a new campaign event this patch that starts on March 19th. This time we use the World Eaters and Black Legion against the Adepta Sororitas. It's pretty fun and I've always enjoyed the campaign events for their dialogue and storyline. My only gripe with them, especially as more and more campaign events are added to the game, is that we don't get to play them all the time. There are no new relics this patch, but with the addition of the World Eaters campaign event, we can get the Ardent Blade from that campaign event at Extremis 30. Extremis 25B gives you a Mythic Knife. The Rogue Trader shop rotation is also updated, and Mogatar, Mogan Ra's relic, now replaces Vitaris in the relic cycle on Wednesday and Sunday. I like sharing this slide, which just lets me keep track of the current unique and shared relics in the game. The battle pass for this patch is for Exeter Row of the Admech faction, which continues along the Admech flavor for things that we have had recently and in this patch. There is the usual slew of other stuff. We have 2 character quests this patch. Vin fights alongside the Ultramarines on March 25th, and then on April 15th, Leviscus fights with the Chaos as allies. There are 2 tournament arenas this patch. Both are at legendary difficulty, and the second is Faction Wars. It looks like Snowprint are taking more of a look at balancing this game mode. After they removed Onshi from the Tau team last time, they have replaced Mephiston with Godswill. There are 5 different Blessed Requisition banners this patch, each one giving you an opportunity to earn different characters. I'm not sure I'm super excited about any of them, but if you wanted to open one, I think the best banner is probably the Loyalist Guild War one. The remaining banners are here on screen along with the dates that their events run, in case any interest you. There are 5 home screen events this patch. Faction Boost runs from March 17th to the 21st. You get points by defeating enemies with Imperial units, and there is a bonus for Admechs. You get some Admech upgrades, cogs for the Actus event, and the repeatable reward is Imperial badges. Purge Order runs from March 23rd to 28th. You get points for defeating enemy Tyranids. Doing well in this event earns you badges and you can pick the flavor that you want. Faction Focus starts on March 31st. Your characters gain bonus XP if there are others from the same faction fighting in Tournament Arena, Onslaught, and Salvage Run. The rewards are gold and lots of it. There is a Psyker Boost event that runs from April 6 to 9. Psykers have a boost to stats. Defeating enemies in Arena, Onslaught, and Salvage Run with Psykers gives you draft badges as a reward, and the repeatable rewards are more badges. The final HSC this patch is Training Rush. It's familiar, bonus experience for our characters, and we earn points for defeating enemies. The rewards are gold and books like before. The shops have also seen an update to their character offerings on a rotational basis. For the War Shop, Pattermine is now always featured, and Karn replaces Morven on Tuesdays and Fridays. For the Rogue Trader Shop, Dante replaces the Pattermine on April 19th, after his LRE has completed. There are some other things and bug fixes in the notes, and I would encourage you to check out the full patch notes. This video has gone on for long enough, and I hope that was useful. Thanks as always to my Patreon and YouTube members for their support, and bye for now.